I saw Top Bill and said Lamar is on pace for 3,336 yards passing, 1,199 yards rushing with 30 plus total touchdowns. I did the math.
Well,
yes, you did.
Thank you for doing that, because we're going to go ahead and transition right into the mid-season award predictions.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so what do you want to start with? Do you want to go in like reverse order, leave MVP for last, or you want to start with the big guns?
All right. Okay. So, all right, we are giving our predictions. We did this at the beginning of the year. I believe. I don't remember.
Oh man, I just remembered. I forgot to put up the picture of Powell.
Oh,
that's from the Black History Fact, but
yeah.
a little late, but there it is.
Yeah,
my bad.
But it's there. All right, there.
It's there.
Okay, so type along with us. This is gonna be like rapid fire, but slower than the slow rapid fire.
Let's start with the rookies.
Okay, but I'm explaining to the audience what we're doing.
Okay, but I was giving the order. But that's all right.
Okay. Starting with rookies.
Yeah, we're gonna go rookies. Then we're gonna go offensive and defensive player of the year. Then we're gonna go coach of the year, and then we've got a little kind of bonus. Wow.
Danny said 70 years later in the picture. There you go, Davon. Davon said better late than never.
Thank you, Davon. That's why I like you more than Danity. Always have, always will. Yeah. So we're gonna do the coach of the year. We got most surprising and most disappointing players and teams from this season, and then we'll go to MVP and our picks for the conference champions and the Super Bowl winner.
Oh, we're doing disappointing teams. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So rookies.
Rookie of the year. We're going to start off with defensive rookie of the year. My pick, Sauce Gardner.
Oh,
I was pretty skeptical of Sauce. Corners usually have a tough transition, but he stepped in and kind of established himself as one of the best corners in the league, rookie or not. So, and I mean, you can't not like the cheesehead look, right, in Green Bay. So yeah, definitely going with Sauce. I think he's running away with that.
I also picked Sauce Gardner. Look at that. I had some pictures ready. B told me, he's like, hey, I had some pictures queued up. I was like, oh no, I don't have anything. But I got a couple. I grabbed a couple. All right. Sauce Gardner. Salute to our friend Deshaun, who was a big advocate for Sauce Gardner being drafted by the Ravens. He said Sauce Gardner was destined to be a Hall of Famer. Tell you what, he's off to a very good start. So shout out to Deshaun if you're watching. You called that one, my friend.
All right, on to
wait. Hold on, chat. Make sure you guys are putting in your your picks. Okay, we got Hendo says sauce. Davon says cheese sauce. Raven Ron says sauce. Brandon Buck says sauce. All right. Yep. Deshaun called it. He did.
Whoa. Hold on. Danny saying Brady can dish it all day, but when I do, all I'm doing is dishing it back to you, Danny. That's all. I'm just giving it back.
We have a different name here. Woolen is coach's pick for rookie.
Tariq Woolen out of Seattle.
Okay. Yep.
He ain't winning it, coach, though. He ain't winning it. He's having a great year, though. But he ain't got the name power. He ain't got the star power. He ain't in New York. You ain't calling him Sauce. All right, on to offensive rookie of the year. This, typically will go to a skill position player. I mean, I think there probably are better selections, but I'm going to say that Dameon Pierce, the running back from the Houston Texans. I know that a lot of people are on Kenneth Walker. I like Pierce because Pierce was showing it from day one. He went in there and won the job, took over, and has been playing consistently all season. Kenneth Walker, I mean, look, he's playing great, but he could not overtake Rashad Penny in Seattle, right? So he got into his position through injury, which, I mean, it happens, but I'm going to go with the guy who won the job right from jump.
Dameon Pierce looks really good. I watched last Thursday when they played the Eagles. Man, he runs hard. He runs with authority. Good vision. So that's a very good pick. I was going to pick Dameon Pierce, but I went with this guy, Chris Olave. And we saw him on Monday. He was really the only person that you saw from that offense do anything. Look, another player who's having an amazing year. Really just out the gate, right? That's why you're not going to see Michael Thomas in New Orleans next year. I mean, look, I told you, I think his injuries are more of him just not wanting to be there. And they said,
he's hurt.
Yeah. Sure. He's hurt. And they're hurt to see him hurt. No, right? Chris Olave. I didn't even look up the stats, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be well over 1,000 yards by the end of the season. He does not play like a rookie at all. And getting it done with a caliber quarterback to the likes of Andy Dalton tells you all you need to know about this guy. This is also the person that I wanted us to draft, by the way.
Why you got to say the likes of Andy Dalton? That's just rude.
Andy Dalton is so washed. Okay. So Hendo says Olave. Darius Simmons says Olave. Breece Hall. RTV says Breece Hall. Like that. Mr. J says Kenneth Walker or Pierce. They are both running away with it. Rim shot. Ryan says Christian Walker.
Kenneth Walker.
Christian Walker. Kenneth Walker. Yeah. Agent E says that boy Sauce been shutting down every receiver he played against. Yeah. Pierce. Okay. We're not at Coach of the Year yet, Brandon. He says email Udoka.
All right. On to Defensive Player of the Year. I apologize. This picture is probably going to hurt your eyes for more than one reason, but it's not a great picture. It's a little blurry. But it is going to be an edge rusher who was drafted in the first round just a year ago, right? Micah Parsons, who is nigh unblockable. He's not leading the league in sacks right now, but he's right up there. He's got, I believe it's 8. And like I said, I mean, people cannot, the offensive linemen cannot keep Micah in front of him. They can't.
He's scary.
He is. He's another one like Sauce who walked in and immediately established himself as one of the best in the league at their position, regardless of age.
Yeah. I was thinking about him too. And then when we talked on Coach's show about the lack of production from Owe and who we got rid of because Owe is supposed to be a step up from this guy, I said, you know what? He is going to be Defensive Player of the Year, Mr. Matthew Judon.
Mr. Elmo.
Listen, 11.5 sacks already, and he doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. So, yeah, he could have 20 sacks by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Right. I think he's going to lead the league in sacks when it's all said and done. I don't think look, Parsons is going to be right there with them for sure. But Judon was already a complete player. He's more than just a sack specialist. Like he can be out there every down. He can set the edge. And he went to a team that can fully utilize his skills. And yeah, I can see him going over 20 sacks. I can see him leading the league in sacks. I'm gonna pick Matt Judon for a Defensive Player of the Year. And how are we gonna feel as Ravens fans letting that go?
Oh, it was too expensive. So.
Okay.
And you got Justin Houston. Look at him with the fountain of youth and whatnot. So moving on to Offensive Player of the Year. This one's a bit surprising to me. I thought he was not going to have a great year this year, considering the change in team, but he has been absolutely phenomenal. That is Tyreek Hill, who went to Miami and is about 300 yards clear of the number 2 receiver in the league. He's at 1,100 yards for the season, and he has been absolutely dominant, even with the downgrade at quarterback.
I couldn't, I did it kind of on the fly, and I was like, man, I don't know who could be the Offensive Player of the Year. There's a lot of guys doing well. And then I remembered that this guy already has over 1,000 yards by 1,000 yards receiving, and that is Tyreek Hill. Okay. Now he got about 300 of those yards against us. Okay. Like we padded his stats just a little bit in the fourth quarter. All right. Yeah, man, he's gonna have over 2,000 yards. All right. He's gonna have that. Well, maybe not over 2,000, but he's gonna be close.
Yeah, he's gonna get close. Definitely get close. What do we say next? Coach of the year.
Yes.
So for coach of the year, there's a couple of really good candidates for this, but I ended up on this guy because of the just obscene lack of talent on his team. Brian Daboll of the New York Giants. They are 6-2. Daniel Jones is their quarterback. Can none of y'all name one of their wide receivers? Their O-line is
Slayton.
not great. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that onto their defense.
Okay. All right. I see.
I considered Saleh as well because Zach Wilson is definitely not it. But they do have talent all over the rest of that roster, you know.
Agent E, how dare you? Tyreek doesn't impress you. I'll tell you what, he doesn't care if you're impressed. He is going to smoke any defense. Okay. You're not impressed by what he did to us in the fourth quarter. It doesn't matter. He still had like 200 yards and like 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter against us. All right.
Tyreek doesn't impress me because I refuse to watch him.
All right. Okay. My pick. This hurts me a little bit because I bombed on this guy. All right. I thought he was going to be straight trash. And his team is undefeated right now. And that is Mr. Sirianni. Yes, I was trying to download a dorkier picture of him, but it wouldn't download. So you get that one, Sirianni. Good job, my friend. You proved me wrong. You're doing a damn good job, and it was a good hire.
Yeah, it's a great hire. So moving on to you want to do most surprising or disappointing first?
Well, I don't have anything downloaded for these. So
okay, well I do. So we'll just go with mine then. Most surprising player in the league this year. Again, there were a lot of good candidates, but I don't think anybody is playing above expectations quite like Geno Smith. Geno has been one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and yeah, nobody really expected that. You know, and he's a guy who was drafted in the second round to a team who didn't want him. You know, with Rex Ryan there. And, you know, after the Rex Ryan era, he didn't really get a chance for years and years and years. And he got to Seattle and, you know, Pete talked him up. But Pete talks everybody up, right? And then they traded for Drew Lock. And I was like, oh, well, you know, it's probably going to end up being Drew. But Geno beat him out, and he's playing better than almost anybody in the league right now. So hats off to Geno. Like he said, they wrote him off, but he ain't right back. Okay.
I like that one. I was going to pick that one, but just for variety's sake, I'm going to say Jalen Hurts. Right?
You would.
And you should say Jalen Hurts too, because you thought he was garbage.
He is garbage.
He is not garbage.
He is garbage.
He is
Listen. You can still be garbage and put up numbers if your team gives you Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and AJ Brown.
Listen, we're not talking about Kirk Cousins as an MVP candidate right now, right? And he has everything around him, including some gold chains. Okay,
I want reparations just for having to see that. That was disgusting.
Yeah, so yeah, Jalen Hurts, man. I like Jalen Hurts more than B did, but I didn't think he was going to play like this. But yes, that is what talent will do for you. Absolutely.
Look, I like Jalen Hurts. I just didn't think he was a very good quarterback. But no, he's playing very well. Very well over there. Most disappointing for me, this is a no-brainer because of how he played on the field, and also because I had him on several fantasy teams. This clown, Russell Wilson. It's been just awful watching this dude play football this year. And there doesn't even seem to be any reason. Like you can't even find an excuse for him. He's got the receivers. He's had time. Okay, maybe you can point at the coach. But Russ just looks like he's cooked.
I'm gonna say Derek Carr, right? And Ryan Christensen agrees with me. Let's see. Hendo says Rodgers. Danny says disappointing Raiders. Yeah.
That I had the Raiders as my most disappointing team.
Yeah.
I don't think that's on Derek Carr. I think that's on Josh McDaniels.
Emphasis is Kyler Murray. Raymond Ron says Hollywood. Okay. Okay. Well, look, I'm saying Derek Carr. I don't think it's on Derek Carr, but it's still disappointing, right? Like you had a good year last year. Last year, we didn't think that highly of Derek Carr. And then after last year, we said, you know what? We changed our minds. We both said we changed our mind on Derek Carr. He's a quality quarterback. And when they traded for Devontae Adams, we were thinking this guy is going to be right up there, top 5.
Yeah.
And that's just not happening. And yes, a lot of it has to do with a crappy coach. I don't think he's actually that bad, but he's not looking good.
Yeah.
So.
I don't get the Hollywood Brown selection other than you hate Hollywood Brown. I mean, he played 6 games. He had 485 yards and 3 touchdowns and no drops.
Yeah.
Officially. I know we all watched him drop the ball, but that's not. It seems like you holding a grudge there, Ron.
This is a good cam right here. Oh wait.
But is it the most disappointing to go from 5 sacks down to 1? Is it?
Right. Nah. He still has time. He's doing so many other things out there,
Yeah. So I guess I'll just go ahead and say also my most surprising team. It's right along with the players, Seattle, sitting atop that division at 6-3, thanks in large part to Geno's play. I don't think many people saw that coming, and also Geno and the emergence of Kenneth Walker. He's played really well as well, but I don't think anybody really had them leading that division at the midway point of the season.
I'm gonna say the Giants, man. The Giants, even though I watched them and they, I'm like, well, it's the Giants. There's nothing special about them. They are finding ways to win, and they keep doing it. Like they beat us, right? They only have 2 losses.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's surprising because I didn't think they had enough to be even competitive at this point of the year. But here they are. So salute to OTR Brandon, salute to Ferris. That is their teams, and salute to the Giants.
Hey, so now down to the Super Bowl picks. Essentially, who do you have for the AFC and NFC?
Who's your the most disappointing team? You said the Raiders, right?
The Raiders. Thanks to Josh McDaniels, who is on somehow inexplicably is his 3rd head coaching position when he really shouldn't be in the NFL at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Steelers, man. I thought they'd be better than this.
But why though? It seems like it's on you a little bit.
Well, because yes, Ben Roethlisberger retired, but he was already rapidly declining.
Yeah,
and I thought Mitch Trubisky. I didn't think he was gonna be great, but I thought he would be solid enough, and that's all they really needed with that team. I just thought they'd be more competitive.
Well, it's one of those things. He's a physically better quarterback, but you can't replace what's up here. Right?
That's true. No, that is true.
He's. I'm not saying that Mitch is dumb or anything, but I mean, Ben Roethlisberger is a 2-time Super Bowl winner and Hall of Famer and everything, and it's a downgrade in terms of the processing and decision making when you go to Trubisky.
Yes,
and then definitely when you get down to baby hands. So for the AFC, we'll stay in the AFC for now. Who do you have winning the AFC Championship?
Look, it's the Chiefs, right? I said the road to the Super Bowl in the AFC goes through Kansas City. It's been that way for 4 years, and it's going to be that way again. If you want to get to Super Bowl, you got to go through Kansas City, and I think Kansas City is going to win. They'll probably beat Buffalo in the AFC Championship game. I like Buffalo, but Buffalo is one of those teams too where it's just like they look great until they don't. Right? I mean, any team can be that way nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But for a team to be on top for that, for as long as the Chiefs had, and look, Mahomes ain't going anywhere, right? And they'll probably end up with Odell, if we're being honest. They already got they picked up Kadarius Toney. Like they're just they're a team that knows when to peak. They know what they need to do in the playoffs, and I just until I don't see them in an AFC Championship game, like I'm always going to pick them.
Yeah. So I'm picking the Chiefs as well. I think they are actually going. I think the road is actually going to go through Kansas City. I think they're going to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They're tied right now with Buffalo. Obviously, Buffalo beat them, but Buffalo is 0-2 in their division. They lost to Miami and the Jets. So, I mean, there's not even a guarantee that Buffalo wins that division, let alone gets the home field advantage. You mentioned Kadarius Toney. I think he is going to emerge as a major difference maker in the playoffs. And yeah, so I think that Pat Mahomes is playing great, obviously. So I think that they're gonna ride through the AFC and represent that conference in the Super Bowl yet again. For the NFC. The NFC has been just a little weird. Like they kind of lack contenders. The defending Super Bowl champions aren't looking very good.
They don't look good now.
San Francisco's not looking great. I don't really believe in Seattle like that. I definitely don't believe in Minnesota. Dallas always seems to play worse than you would expect and not get to where you expect them to get to. So I am going to go almost by default with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles coming out.
That's my pick, the Eagles. I'm picking the Eagles, man. So Chiefs, Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
We picked, Chiefs, Eagles, Super Bowl. All right.
And who are you taking to win it?
I got the Chiefs, man.
Yeah, same here. I got the Chiefs. I don't believe in Jalen Hurts. Look, Jalen Hurts has been a big game quarterback throughout his whole career, right? Going back to college. He's always stepped up in big games, but I mean, you're also going up against Pat Mahomes, right? So I'm going to take Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, and I think that this will be a valuable learning experience for the Eagles moving forward.
Yeah. He said Panthers.
So
49ers and Chiefs again. Then he says, I believe Lamar and defense will. They could, right?
Will what?
Win
playoff games? No.
Yeah, I mean they could. It wouldn't surprise me, but it surprised me a little bit because
it would surprise me a lot.
It wouldn't surprise me a lot. It surprised me a little bit because Lamar is a great player and he could just turn it on in the playoffs, right? All it would take is Lamar to make a few plays and receivers hold on to the ball just a little bit more, right? They execute just a little bit,
and we're done. And the dream is over.
No. Seriously, I mean, any team. I mean, the last time we won a Super Bowl, I didn't think we were making the playoffs. We shouldn't have made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think they were going to play the way they played when they got there, right?
Yeah, but they had talented guys, though.
They did. But what I'm saying is, the way we play, we hold on to the ball for a long time. We run the clock. If they put together a few more scoring drives than they usually do, and the defense plays the way they should play, it could happen, right? It's not. I don't expect them to. That's why I said I'd be a little surprised if they did it. But I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm shocked, surprised either, right? Just because we've seen it happen before. It's not, especially getting it done with defense nowadays, that doesn't really happen. But I wouldn't be shocked by it. But no, I absolutely don't expect that to happen.
Yeah, I don't think they have the players on defense or in the run game to make an actual Super Bowl run. Yeah. I think I've got their cap at the second round.
Okay.
For Baltimore this year.
Yeah.
So on to the big award, I guess, the season MVP. Who do you have winning league MVP this season?
The quarterback of the team that I have winning the Super Bowl. That guy right there. Okay. Mr. Pat Mr. Pat Mahomes. Yes. Currently leading the league in touchdowns. I'm not sure what he has in yards, but he's always up there. And I like sometimes you forget that Tyreek Hill even played there. The way he throws his touchdowns all over the place. Yeah, I got Pat Mahomes, man.
Okay.
Coach has Mahomes. Davon has Kirk Cousins. He's playing well.
No, he isn't.
Brandon says Lamar.
You know what? I appreciate you, Brandon, because my pick is Lamar Jackson.
Hey,
listen, I know that we over scrutinize every single thing Lamar does, but like I believe it was Plugcap said in the chat before, he's about 4th or 5th in the league in passing touchdowns. He's 8th in the league in rushing yards. The team is, what are they, 6-3 now, when the reality is every single Ravens fan agrees if he didn't play, they'd be 0-9.
Yes.
He is the very definition of the most valuable player. The entire offense is on his shoulders every single week. And he comes through more often than not. Even in their 3 losses. Shut up, Danny. All right.
Danny said, Brodny, finally some respect.
even in their 3 losses, they had double-digit leads in each one of those games. Right. And that's all thanks to number 8. I know they're not going to give it to him because they're really on the, one, Pat Mahomes is the leader right now in terms of odds, and the media is really on the Josh Allen train. They're trying to ram that through, but my pick is Lamar Jackson.
This is what I'm talking about, Marco G. Be bold with it, okay? Man up. Zach Wilson. Let's go.
He gets MVP for like somehow making the playoffs without doing a single thing on offense.
RTV says Hurts. yeah. So nobody's picking Josh Allen.
Oh. He said it himself. He's playing like
he had a bad game, but this is this is what we say, man. Like when you watch other teams play, even the top quarterbacks are gonna play bad through parts of the season, right? Yeah. Josh Allen will absolutely be there at the end of the year.
Oh, for sure. I don't know how it always happens, but it always seems like the AFC just ends up with all of the top quarterbacks in the league. Right? You got Mahomes, you got Allen, you got Lamar, they've got Deshaun coming back next week. You got Justin Herbert, you got Joe Burrow. How is the NFC even going to compete? Jalen Hurts? Really?
I don't know.
Well, I have the answer for you, coincidentally. Bryce Young in Carolina next year. That's how.
There you go. Shaheen says my MVP is Matt Rule because he may be the reason for the next Panthers franchise QB. There you go.
That's the Jimmy Clausen Award, is what that is. Jimmy was so bad that we got Cam the next year.